Hello everybody, this is Purge, bringing you guys another replay commentary. Guess what, guys? I played another green hero in the offlane with day 9. So let's talk about it. I played Necrophos this game. This hero saw some trending in the patch before the big patch because of his mana reduction on Death Pulse. It went down to 160 at level 4 instead of 190, which meant that your ability to Death Pulse and gain mana was much better. So, I, much like the last game, thought about buying an Urn, and I don't remember if I committed to it or not. To start the lane off, I said, let's buy 6 to all attributes. I'm not a universal hero, so it's not as good as if you're on a universal hero, but HP, attack speed, armor, mana pool, damage, all very good things on Necrophos. Danon was playing in a bad in this game, which I would say is not exactly a good dual lane. It's good in the sense that he can help keep me alive. That part's really solid. In fact, we can help keep each other alive, but we're not very great at getting kills. It's more like we probably can win the lane, which is a good thing. I could have maybe Death Pulsed him there, but I didn't necessarily want to spend the mana. That's a quarter of my mana. It's kind of a lot, you know? So, he probably didn't need to glimpse there, but it's fine. Moving over here to see if we can get both runes. We cannot. We end up getting 2, which is fine. So I'm aiming for an Urn because it felt so darn good. If I can hit double Death Pulse, I'm definitely going to do it. Pretty happy to fight them here. They probably should have fought us a little more, I feel like. I don't want to give him 4 hits, but he probably will get it because he is a Monkey King and he has more movement speed than me. But I definitely don't want to hit him afterwards, but if we can hit him together, that's fine. So when I was picking my hero, I think I was one of the later picks, actually. And when I was picking my hero, it said that Necrophos had a good matchup against Monkey King, which in hindsight makes sense. If I press my second skill, he simply cannot hit me, and thus he can't get Jingu stacks, and he can't get lifesteal off of me, and his ultimate also doesn't hit me. So there's lots of upsides there. There are not upsides to my last hitting so far. I got dumpstered the first 2 waves, as I got used to things. But I think his base damage is pretty good. He's probably close to... That's 56. It's okay. He's got a Quelling Blade, so... And he's got a great base model, obviously, but... That one hurt. That one hurt really bad. I maybe should have Death Pulsed it, but I already burned a lot harassing them, so... It's a little bit hard to justify it, I felt like.
Stop dead. Radiance courier has been killed.
Just opted for the Death Pulse to make it easier. Finally getting some good denies. The biggest problem, though, is that we are not level 2 yet, which means I am having a bad time in terms of my mana pool. But I've got it now. And naturally I use the pay to lose one, because I'm not a coward. It's pay to lose because it makes everybody gold if they're within my radius. So it's like much more obvious that you're taking the damage, which is generally a downside. Letting people know that they are getting harassed is never necessarily a good thing. But the reason I bought Urn again is probably because I bought it the previous game on Viper and it felt cool. And frankly, the stats are pretty good for these range type offlaners because it gives you more kill potential, which is generally just a good thing. Your hero tends to... I'm going to pull these together because the creep wave's going to die anyways.
You're with me that Zeus is a jerk, right?
What was I saying? Oh yeah, why Urn is good. What for these like range type offlaners that are kind of just fighting anyways. I ended up not getting it. I was very frustrated. And I'm missing like everything, and I'm taking like 1 billion damage. And the skellies are fighting. Okay, we're good now. I should plant a tree and eat it. Danon's off doing some shit while I have like a free creep wave. I almost missed out. It would have been very salty. Actually, my regen's kind of sick now. Maybe I don't need to eat the Tango. Got like a decent amount of last hits there. I went for a second Death Pulse, just because the scaling gets better, 60% more damage, more heal, all that stuff. But yeah, the stuff it gives you is pretty solid. The mana regen, you could argue, is wasted on this hero, so maybe it's not a great item, but attributes, armor, offensive potential, those are all good things, without a doubt. And in the early game, the mana regen's really not bad, honestly. One thing this Monkey King did atrociously is he never used Mischief to dodge my Death Pulses. He definitely should have. Many times. And I'm usually a little greedy and I don't get Ghost Shroud for, but you really should. Let's look at the scaling really quick. Heartstopper Aura level 2 offensively does twice as better. It does 1.2% health decay instead of 0.6. But the regen only goes up by 25%. So really what you're scaling... I mean, you do get more mana and health, which is a good thing, but the damage is not much better. Like, you really should always get Death or Ghost Shroud at 4. But I'm very often greedy when I play this hero and I don't get it. And it ends up biting me in the ass. Because there's times where you're under tower and you take like 4 hits and it costs you a lot. Whereas if you just activate Ghost Shroud, you get more heal. Which is very important. So 45% extra heal. That's from Death Pulse. That means this heals you like 120 or something. The real value is you get it with a wand, obviously. That way when your wand is maxed out, you get this like beast heal. You Ghost Shroud, you Death Pulse, you wand. That's what you want to do. It also works with kills you get with Heartstopper, of course. And creeps that you've killed too. There's lots of upsides. I couldn't believe that he walked up again because that just gave me like the easiest Death Pulse ever. I should have maybe gone for hitting him now that I heard the thingy. So, no boots yet. Now I bought wand. So this is maybe a weird thing you could criticize me for, that I don't have movement speed, and that seems kind of bad against the Monkey King. And maybe they're just playing badly, and thus this shouldn't be happening. But like maybe if I go boots instead, then they should be just killing me instead, you know, or something like that. Say yellow, got it. Yeah, Disruptor got that. But so far the lane is working fine. I mean, a lot of the pressure is going into Sean and not me, so maybe that's why it feels fine for me. But yeah, with just between the Urn and the wand, things feel okay. I should definitely have purchased my boots and had them running to me already. This is really delayed. This is like a 30-second window where I maybe could get a kill or lose a kill. And then I'm going to use this because I don't want him to get 4 stacks up. He could have ran with me, to be honest, if he wanted to. Just going to try to get denies here, of course. Plant tree, eat tree. Now that I've tanked too much tower damage. I should actually not go under tower right now because then it sets him up for the perfect glimpse. He's like trying to bait me to do so, but I am accidentally not falling for it. In no way was this a skilled play. Just a little damage there. If you run back into the glimpse, you take a little bit less damage, so big recommend that you do that as soon as you get glimpsed. You might think like, well, I'm going back no matter what. Well, you can take less damage doing it. I don't know why I couldn't see his staff flying out of the trees. That seems a little bit unfair. So far, this Urn has done me very, very little good. Other than the armor part, which is cool. Now the wave is pushing. This is actually a good time for a day 9 to rotate. This is totally fine that he's doing this. And again, my ability to die is not super high because I've got Ghost Shroud. They probably could kill me, but I think it would probably take an Urn, or not an Urn, a Orb of Venom and like a lot of effort. Is my hunch. So for now, I continue to get last hits. I am way ahead of the Monkey King. I should not be this far ahead. I feel like a good player would like shit on me big time. And you know what I did last game, guys? I said, you know what feels great? Boots of Travel and Urn feels great. I will again press the not die button. He will not chase me, which he should do. Now I've got ulti, so I should be looking for kills. So this is the part where I was like really jazzed to look for a kill, if possible. Because getting it, the faster you get it, the better. You know, it's on cooldown faster, that kind of thing. That TP was, I believe, an opponent, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe I shouldn't play this aggressively, considering the fact that I am... That made me very sad. Okay. I did this because I thought there was a chance we'd turn the fight, basically, but he did a nice job healing on all the creeps. And then afterwards, I was like, that was a huge mistake to use my ulti. Because I look at my inventory, I'm like, oh, I have an Urn charge now. which I can use to kill, and then I'm like, but I don't have Reaper Scythe.
Under attack.
Urn charges do 200 damage. Like, they're wild. It takes 8 seconds, I guess, but it's a lot of damage. That's damage basically amplified by Reaper Scythe, so can't waste that shit. I'm probably top net worth, or at least I was. Them getting that kill was still really big, but I definitely should not have died. I was hoping, I said I should have had coverage. You know, like Day 9 was there at the start. It would have been a little better because we can like try to force a kill. Or what we should have is the Snapfire should rotate to my lane as well. Which kind of typically happens when I play with Day 9, because usually I play an offlaner. And then what happens is I usually beat the enemy carry, and I get very farmed, and then the supports rotate on me and kill me. And it's at that moment that if my allies happen to be standing near me, that we get like a double or a triple kill, and the game is like completely over in a lot of ways, is what it feels like. It becomes like very extreme, very quickly. Should not be too afraid to hit this guy, I don't think. And they also shouldn't be that afraid to hit me, I don't think. Who's rotating? Yeah, Snapfire's in the area. Ooh, got that last hit. You got me good there.
Bounty.
Very nice guy letting me get a free stack here.
Is under attack.
So, that is now 2 regen, 1 mana regen. And I got 2 more stacks, which is fine. Either way, getting the kill is okay here. And this buys me my BOTs.
Dire's middle tower.
Again, kind of, probably throwy. I don't know, this build is probably bad. It should probably be a mech, honestly. If I'm playing Offlane Necrophos and I also bought an Urn, I can't help but think that just going mech would be better. It's the survivability wise, it's night and day. It's like not even close. I could basically tank like a 4-hero gank with mech. Because all I need to do is press Ghost Shroud, Wand, and mech. And I heal an insane amount.
Radiance bottom tower
And
is
that
under
mech would be
attack.
applied to my my teammates as well, you know. But I bought
Radiant's
BOTs
bottom
instead.
tower has fallen.
Because I'm greedy. In this game. I don't know if I can condone this. It's easy to watch it now, or to play it live and be like, yeah, this is going to be totally fine. And sometimes it will work. But against good players, they would just kill me and they'd laugh at me for having 900 HP.
Radiant's middle
You know?
tower is
Like,
under
my
attack.
survivability net worth is equivalent to, like, a magic wand. And 3 ironwood branches extra. That's, like, basically what I'm sitting on
Dire's top
in
tower
terms of my
is
ability
under
to live.
attack.
It helps that their heroes are very right-click based. Monkey King, right-click based. Dazzle has a lot of physical damage. Lycan is right-click based. So I'm not very killable by them, but if they had some conventional offlaner like Mars or something, and they just roll at me and use like Mars Arena, spear me to the wall, I just realized about Glimpse. So I started to hide. Unfortunately for me, it was not a full 4 seconds, so I had to go bottom again. That felt bad. But as I TP'd in, I was like, oh shit, that's a fucking disruptor.
Dire's top tower
Now we're gonna lose
is
the tower
under
for free.
attack.
That feels bad. Okay, and now I looked at Shard for my next item. Shard got changed on Necrophos and no longer does the Death Seeker that Death pulses, which was a great Shard. It was effectively a mini E-Blade. It would lower the magic resistance to your opponent and do a Death Pulse. It's in some ways better now. You lose the amplification and you get mobility, which is something that Necro really needs, and part of the reason that BOTs felt good. By the way, Zai did play Necrophos and played BOT's Necrophos a little bit. So I think there's something to be said about these slow green heroes that kind of function as offlaners, justifying BOTs, because it does help them get into the fight while also death pushing other lanes. But if I'm worried about losing a game like right now, or defending a tower with my team right now, a mech would certainly be better. But BOTs is great for these moments where I want to walk around and try to catch somebody. This guy looks like a great Reaper Scythe target to me. I wasn't sure who he caught with that, so I decided to give him the scythe to get my stacks up. 4 HP regen. Woo! It's not a lot, but it is honest work. It's kind of a waste, though, because I should be using that on somebody else that wasn't going to die necessarily. I had to pick that up because was my first one that I claimed. Choosing my neutral item while I dive here. Opted for the pig pole, very popular item these days. I wasn't quite sure how to approach this team fight, to be honest. Killed the neutral, which is very important. This guy's ulti ran out because he was not paying attention. I'm going to use this. Get that full wand going. He glimpses me, but decent death pulse. I'm going to prevent this guy from jumping. I should pig pull here. Trying to kill wolves to save my teammates, but I don't think this is a kill. They should give up. I feel like I told them. Oh, that was so funny, dude. This wolf blocked him against the wall. Oh my god. One wolf. So funny. Little urn there, of course. This is a wild fight, dude. But I gotta say, having a Boots of Travel and a Windlace definitely makes it easier. Oh no, my creeps. Bro, I wanted to scythe that guy so bad, but that slow is too much. Anyways, if you're wondering why I'm buying Yules, I looked at the enemy team and I said, they really don't have a lot of disables. I can get away with this Yules build. And Yules is very unbuilt right now. I'm not saying it's for bad reason, like people are making the right read probably, but I think I well identified that this is a really good game to have Yules. Again, it doesn't give me much survivability, but it does make it so that in moments of oh shit, I don't die for a couple seconds. And I'm talking Disruptor ulti and Puck ulti. Those are the two dangerous ones. Monkey King ulti arguably too, but with Ghost Rat I already have a little bit of a way to protect against that, so it's less scary. But yeah, Yules also gives you movement speed, which is nice. The 10 int is fine. A little bit of mana pool is good. Piss God 666 dying in the middle of nowhere. That one's not my fault. Can't be blamed for that shit. Don't like that. I use the Monkey King because that way he can't catch up to me. Was my goal. Pig pole! I believe I die. I tried. There was a small chance I maybe kill Puck there if I get the ulti up, but he gets graved most likely, so it's fine. But yeah, I was way too far up. You can't be under a tower like that. I should have been punished earlier than that. I think my skill and item usage there was fine. And yeah, another reason I probably got pig poles because I probably wanted to compensate for my weak raw HP with my item purchases. They're all very like greedy in terms of like that unburstable. So having 6 extra strength is very good. So, I did not get the 10 talent. Some of you might be like, why not? Reaper Scythe cast range. But people really typically like that talent. But I think it's a little bit overkill right now. And I think that's because, like, I don't think this 10 talent is actually very good. In some ways, it's better for me to skip it this game because Ghost Shroud's so good this game. It's good against 3 different heroes. The duration goes up. The movement slow goes up. The cooldown goes down. Those are all things I really want. So, I think, Ghost Shroud is an ability that I'm comfortable maxing out relatively fast this game because it's going to make my hero have better impact. And 100 extra cast range on Reaper Scythe is also a little bit overkill now because of the Ag Shard. Because of the fact, I started talking about this earlier, but then I fucked it up. Deathseeker basically turns me into a Death Pulse, and once I arrive, it does a Death Pulse. So it basically teleports me or moves me towards an opponent that I'm trying to kill, is what the Shard does now. And the value is obviously that it acts like a Force Staff or an initiation tool. And the other really cool thing that it does is that it makes you invulnerable while you're doing it. So you can use it to dodge some spells, to make the fight a little bit of a little bit chaotic, that kind of a thing. Always pull these camps together. I had neutral items up right now, that's why I manually clicked on my spell, because I keep thinking that it's like talent tree, and I'm scared to like press the wrong one. But yeah, always pull these camps together. Dire Side is a little bit easier for that. I should be looking at my team a little more, I think. Like still trying to decide on neutral item. I have no idea what I bought or chose to get. Okay, I went Vambers. That makes sense. I used the Monkey King to get him out of the fight for a bit. I did not get the stack on him, but it was still a good kill. Got shard coming now. I'm gonna heal up him because he is important. And then Dazzle desperately trying to save a guy. Didn't have to Yules him. Looks like Slark would have gotten him too, but yeah. I think I killed him with Yules, by the way. Just casual 50 damage Yules, no problem, no problem. Alright, now here's the shard. So Vambrace is actually pretty popular right now in pro players. Just because it kind of works on every hero. And it's good on universals as well. It gives universal heroes 20 or 12 damage. Which is pretty good. 12 damage, and you can choose any of the magic resistance. Do you want attack speed or do you want spell amp? So on universal heroes it's fantastic. Every single universal hero can happily use this. And for me as a Necrophos it's kind of perfect as well. I get 6% more spell amp damage. And I can go strength if I want more survivability as well. By TPing, my team now chooses to continue fighting, which is generally not recommended. But somebody has to push out these darn waves and get super sick nasty farmed. And now I'm again trying to make up for my lower survivability by buying a Sange. Because I need my survivability to be just a little bit higher for safety reasons. And I'm just going to keep an eye on the map. That way when my team fights, I can show up for them. Now, I stood under a stack and took literally all of my HP and damage. But luckily, I managed to kill this guy. Ooh, I used my Ghost Shroud already. Pretty good damage, but also scary. Actually taking like a lot to this guy. I walked through the fire as well, that didn't help. But yeah, I stood in that stack after they summoned skeletons, and they beat on my ass while I teleported for 5 seconds. It made my fight a lot harder. I felt the need to pop Ghost Shroud like right off the bat to get the heal off them Lycan. And then, yeah, bad things. Here again, want more regen. Boy, does I give it to you. 3 points, that's 20-second cooldown, last 4 seconds, restore is 65, very good shit. Killing mud golems is not good, but this is... Oh, I should have bought already. I just looked at my gold as well, and I was like, oh shit, I have a lot of gold. That was definitely overkill, I should have bought that much earlier. Gossamer Cape could have been okay on my hero too. I think that was one of my choices that I could have had. I could have opted for Gossamer Cape for that miss every 5 seconds, which is very good against your Monkey King Lycan type heroes. The problem is that against Puck, I don't think it works, because Puck has Witchblade, and the first Witchblade attack will do True Strike. So if Puck does initiate on me, it'll try to block it, but it won't work. So I thought that it would be just a bad item to have. So instead I opted for the Vambrace instead. I thought that was better. Not too bad. I should keep healing my teammates here. There's like no reason not for me to Death Pulse. What am I looking at? I'm not sure. Looking at the shard or something. But I've got Sange now, so my survivability is high. I'm going to go push out the bot lane. It's not exactly the best time to smoke. Now I see these pesky wolves. Wolves are actually pretty hard to kill. And now, rather than finishing the Kaya, I sat there for a moment and I was like, bro, I should buy Radiance. I went from like greedy early with the Boots of Travel and the Urn. And then I got the Sange, and now I basically have kind of recovered in terms of survivability. And I just thought, like, I'm doing good. And I think it's fine that I bought Sange first. I don't think it was wrong to go Sange first rather than get a Radiance there. But I think going back for a Radiance is also kind of okay in some cases, because it just does do a lot of damage. I'm trying to, like, figure out the best time to TP, and by that I mean finish my last hits and then choose to TP or not. Because I just don't want to go early, because it's going to decrease my farm speed, you know. And if this isn't a good fight, then I shouldn't... It's not worth showing up then, you know. fight's probably happened for sure now, though. Yeah, and it has. I'm certainly late at this point. Fight looks pretty over, so at this point I go back to farming.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I am not good against these wolves, dude. It's like all right click. Oh, and I got howled too. Now the fight's really over. And I'm like, please don't kill me. Please, God, don't kill me. He looks kind of dead, man. Oh, maybe not. This would be a dangerous place to farm.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't think I've used my shard like at all yet. And I should be using this all the time. 16 seconds. I should be using it like every time on these waves here. Yeah, like this. That double death pulse. So basically they're pushing my tower and there's like almost no way that I defend this. This is this is way too... I need to leave already, actually. I stayed too long here. This is crazy. Like, I don't see why they haven't come to kill me or something. This is unfortunate to use this afterwards. They are running for me. So now I need to not give them vision just in case I get glimpsed. I don't know. That was really greedy. Any like players close to my MMR would have like smashed me in that moment. I mean, I am trying to like farm my team a win or whatever, but like... And I think it was fine I was farming, but the fact that I was doing it so close to them was dangerous. I could have instead like cleared the large camp and left the ancients and then like ran down here instead, for example. That would have been a lot safer. I could TP on the creep wave. I got 119 gold by being close there. Very value. The reason Sange Kaya is pretty good on this hero is because it amplifies the heal that you get and the mana regen. And that all basically affects Heartstopper aura, so you get even more. I'm gonna teleport bottom, because I don't want him to take this tower for absolute free. Unfortunately, the exact same moment that I do this, the fight starts bottom.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But this is kind of the nature of split pushing and good split pushing, is that this is going to happen. They're going to pressure towers, some of us will defend towers, and our teammates will get fought at the same time. Oh wow, we're actually losing by quite a lot right now. I just now realize. Maybe because I wasn't backing my team up enough. It's hard to say. Truly, it's hard to know whether or not I'm at blame. Here's another talent, the Ghost Shroud one at 15. I really should have been spamming this so much faster. I could have gotten a lot more net worth, actually, if I used it. It's a cheaper death pulse, after all. But yeah, the choice is Death Pulse Heal for 30. Should have put it up to 160. Pretty good when you amplify it, so it's potentially a lot. I mean, we're talking 100% is another 30, so 75 is like 22 or something, I feel like. So it's potentially a lot of extra heal. I'm gonna get a stack going here. I could potentially show up in D, but I'm so close to Radiance, I feel like it's probably not worth it. Yeah, I pinged my Radiance here. Like, if I have the Kaya, I can show up to these fights. I just don't know if it's as good. And the other really nice thing about Radiance is that it gives me evasion, and it gives mischance for my allies, too. So against your, like, Lycan-type heroes, having a Radiance on the team is actually really nice. I think I get Cloak of Flames here. Yeah, I was very happy to see that. Cloak of Flames is literally perfect on this hero. It gives you armor, it gives you magic resistance, and it does burn damage near people, or near you, which is kind of what you want anyways. So, increases my farm speed. Damn wolves, dude. They should probably gank me down here someday, but they have not been doing it, which is very nice. Probably because they are bad.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they have not punished my greediness. but I'm having a really nice time, so that's the upside.
Roshan has fallen to the
They've taken Roshan. So we're losing by 6k, but at least I'm still top net worth. Sarko's kind of having a bad time too, I guess. He's 5-5 and 5, so that's another reason I maybe felt justified to go Radiance. But anyways, now I'm Omega strong. I have much more survivability. Let me do the math really quick. I can't remember what the number is. So it's 0.85 times 0.85. That's your evasion plus mischance. So it's a Radiance is a 27% evasion item, which is really high. So 27% evasion against attacks. And they're going to go high ground now because they have the old Aegis. But what they don't know is that I'm ready to fight. Survivability, my right click, burning 60 magic per second. You lose the base damage a little bit with the Radiance change, but it literally doesn't hurt Necro at all. So between Radiance and Heartstopper Aura, they're just taking a shitload of damage per second. Smoking into a fight now because we see Dazzle somewhere else, which is very smart. I really wanted to ulti this guy, but it was hard with the other shit around. Kind of hard for us to invade. Slark does get the guy though, that was good. Really wanted to Death Pulse ulti this guy. We are losing the fight, I would say. Until now, Scum. Luckily they both hit him at the same time. And there was no Dazzle. He's got BKB. I'm burning him. They're burning. Could use my shard here. I should use him. Okay, I was late. I definitely should have done that earlier before he got his Jingu stacks off. But here we are. Actually don't know if I kill that guy. Still haven't used my Death Seeker in a while here. I did not use this enough at all. I should literally be spamming this shit off cooldown. It's just damage, you know? And my mana regen's like relatively high enough. I mean, if I get a hero kill, it gives me a lot of mana, but I should be using it more. I had a wand I could have used. I've got mana regen from Yules. I mean, this alone, this is like 4 mana regen. Arguably bad, but anyways. We got the Kaya now. So, Kaya, more mana regen, more mana pool, and very importantly, 16 spell amp. It doesn't actually increase the damage that Heartstopper Aura does, which might make you guys sad, but it should increase my Radiance burn. Let's see what the ticks are. It's like 62, I think, so that should be 55. Was it 62? This is 60. If I hold alt, it probably doesn't work. But it should do like almost 70 damage. I can't see what the ticks say. There's too many numbers between Heartstopper and Radiance. Anyways, it's a lot of damage. I'm going to farm way faster with Radiance. Your farm speed between Radiance and not having Radiance is like night and day. And then having movement speed on top of that is really good. And having this as well. That's 45 per second. So I'm doing 105 in melee range plus Heartstopper Aura. So yeah, at this point of the game, I can kind of just hit creeps Omega fast. Should have done that better. I could have gotten the stack. Okay, and now I'm buying the item that basically all Necrophoses like the idea of but never buy, and it's going to be an Axe. The reason I thought it was a good Axe game is for the obvious things. They're all physical heroes. I'm far ahead. The problem is that Nullifier destroys this item. It makes this item useless, which is already like the item that like completely hard counters Necrophos. When they get Nullifier, you're going to have a bad time. Because they just are going to remove your Ghost Shroud right away, and they're just going to kill you anyways. And you can't BKB through it. Nothing really works. So it's really it was dangerous for me to go this item, and I was scared to do it. But I just felt like it was just such a good Axe game, you have to do it. And now what it does, if you guys don't know, it lowers the cooldown of Ghost Shroud from 16 seconds to 10, which is pretty low. And then it doubles the damage that Heartstopper Aura does while it's active, which is pretty sick this game. I mean, they have a Lycan and a Monkey King who have pretty high HP. So if I'm dealing almost 5% of their max HP, of their, is it max? Yeah, max health and magic damage per second, we're talking a lot of damage. So it's pretty sick. And then because the cooldown comes 10, that means 4.5 out of 10 seconds, Ghost Shroud will be active. And this is another reason that Yule's is kind of bad on Necrophos right now. Is that it's extra redundant. I turned off Radiance as I approach because I didn't want them to know I was coming. I was trying to ulti that guy, but just ate that entire ulti. If I wasn't silenced, that guy would have been ulti right away. He stayed way too long there. Do not like this extra slow and this slow catching up thing that I'm doing. And I realize this is like an Axe here. Probably use that really late. I feel like I could use it earlier. I should have used Yule's the second that he used the second that he got Jingu. I should be using Yule's because you can dispel it. It's the buff on Monkey King that is dispellable. The one that's on us is not dispellable. I could have Death Pulse there actually to get those creeps. I really didn't use this shit enough. It's a 16-second cooldown, so it's kind of long, but anyways. So we smashed that fight. I basically just stood around and did a shitload of damage. I did 2 Death Seekers, 5 Death Pulses, Radiance Burn, 2 Urns, and I did 9,000 damage almost. I'm happy to fight them here. I don't have Ags, so it's a little different, I guess, but... Well, I feel like actually I should have probably not used Urn. I think Wand over Urn is actually better. Because Wand in Ghost Shroud is so good. I feel like that was a mistake. Almost certainly a mistake. But I don't know if it matters. Now my items look fucking sick. If my net worth wasn't like so high, I would feel way less comfortable about a nullifier. Oh, and this is actually kind of an interesting thing about going Radiance and Ags, actually, is that I've got evasion that they're trying to deal with. Do we have evasion over here too? A little bit. But they're trying to deal with evasion, which kind of means that if he feels the need to go MKB against me, then he also can't get nullifier at a good time. I don't know why I didn't just Death Seek that guy. I really should have. I didn't need to Yule's there either. It's like a... Well, maybe I did because I'm monkey ulti, but... Why did I not... Oh, I went Lycan. It's a monkey, I see. I was like, I don't know why I didn't kill the monkey there. Good, man. Or Glimmer, giving him some HP. Very annoying. I think I did that fight pretty badly. Let's go back and like we'll talk through the fight slower, and I'll show you guys what I should have done instead. Okay, step 1. When approaching them, there's no fucking reason for me to walk up casually. I could literally walk within range of Death Seeker and Death Seekered. And then if he doesn't realize what's happening, I can basically come out of Death Seeker, use my ulti if he doesn't ulti me in time, and then I can Death Pulse him and he will die. Then I kill Disruptor at the start of the fight with nothing being used. That would have been reasonable. Probably. Because what I did not feel good. This walk-in shit, he's going to get his ulti off on me. And it was a little hairy, I suppose. If I don't have BKB, I die here. Maybe. Or Yule's. So, whatever. So, let's ignore past mistakes. Now, how should I play? I get armored here. These guys are BKB'd. I'm fine to frontline because I'm quite tanky. I had just bought a plate mill before this. Ghost Shroud is totally fine here. I should be Death Seeking and ulting one of these guys right now. But I got scared. There isn't even... I'm not even silenced here until later. It's at this point where I like realize like, oh shit, I could get this kill. And that I finally Death Seek after the Lycan is what I did. But I should have probably just killed the monkey instead. It would have been a better kill. By the way, that part's good. Well, yeah, mistakes, basically. Because Monkey is by far the more threatening hero. And then I opted to try to kill this guy. I wanted to use Yule's because I thought that would kill him. But it barely survived. I don't know if he had the chance. Can you always wand? Probably not. Then I Death Seek this guy, which was good. Get some damage in. Hit again. And then from here, there's like not much else I could do, right? I get Glimpse back. It's fine. No, we got there in time, I just realized.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I think everybody... Did we get gold for that one? I don't remember. It doesn't say. So, and now because I know Nullifier like mega hard counters my hero, I need to start building for surviving through it anyways. And the answer to that is just armor, period. Armor is so important to have on Necrophos in moments like this.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
So I got the plate mill in exchange for the urn, and then I'm planning to get a Shiva's guard. Totally normal stuff. Tier 4 token. This one I think I got Stormcrafter. It's in some ways worse than Cloak of Flames. Trickster Cloak also could have been pretty good, but I would argue a little bit inferior. It gives me evasion, but once he gets MKB anyways, it's kind of like, not that, I don't know if he ever will. It's taken forever. But Stormcrafter is cool because of movement speed. The mana regen is bad. That part's useless. But 30 movement speed is really nice, and the zap and slow that it provides is really good too, because it's just a damage increaser, which is really what I want from my neutral items. I want some like semi-survivable damage increaser. That's why Cloak of Flames is so perfect, and one reason why I thought maybe I won't even bother switching. I think I might have had a what's that one? Timeless Relic might have been an option as well. Timeless Relic is really good on Necrophos, as is the tier 3 magic resistance one, the one that lowers magic damage that your opponents, or lowers their magic. Ceremonial Robe is really good on Necrophos. I would say Aesthetics Cap is pretty good on the hero. Spell Prism can work as well, maybe. This looks like a Eul Scepter moment to me. Use Shivas because I might as well. Then I get all my nukes off. I was very slow to go back in here. Day 9 definitely helped keep me alive here. And then I get another Ghost Shroud off, which is amazing. I am really not making... I'm playing pretty flustered here. If I was playing really clean, I feel like I get at least one more kill before this happens. Happy to run into this fight, though. Rules, of course. He's definitely got a Invis cloaky thingy. But yeah, having extra slow is good, too. What was my slow on this? 45. That's pretty sick, actually. The other talent I didn't talk about, the 15% Ghost Shroud self-restore amp. That one, it's probably good. But I just don't know if you need it that badly. I feel like... I don't know, maybe it's good. Because hypothetically, I mean, if they have a nullifier, it doesn't matter. It doesn't work at all. That right talent just doesn't work if they have a nullifier. We have a lot of dead heroes, so I can't, like, push really hard, I know. But increasing the amp that you do is, like, fine. But I just don't think it's like that the most incredible thing. I just feel like there's better abilities. I think the left talent's just better. Reducing their regen by 30% is good. Having Shivas plus that is really good. Because now they have even less regen. Because that puts them down to 70 and then they lose 25 of that. So 0.7 times 0.75. So that means from regen, they're only getting 50% if they're near me. If they are within... Heartstopper Aura, this 800 radius, with the Shivas, they're only getting about 50% of their HP regen. So if we look at like Lycan, I mean, that's a lot. It's like 13 extra damage per second. Puck actually has like really high regen. So yeah, the anti-healing that it gives is good. And that Heartstopper regen reduction probably doesn't work against heals. It might, though. The wording is kind of opaque on all of those. But yeah, Shivas is good. Little magic resistance too. That's actually one thing I forgot about this game, was that I mean, they've got a puck with a Witchblade. Normally you need magic resistance against that, but between all of my int items, I actually had pretty solid magic resistance. I was up to 43%. So that was nice that I didn't have to buy an item. Usually what happens when you play Necro, you kind of need a hood every single game no matter what. You don't necessarily need that now. If I'm playing against the Sky or something, you probably still want it. If you're playing against a source of magic resistance reduction, you probably still want to get magic resistance extra. But if they just have like an abundance of magic damage, like a puck, then I think it's actually okay. is my current feeling to skip it. And just let your natural int pay for it. Because a Shiva's is like 3% magic resistance, I think. It's okay. Not incredible, but okay. And then 25 talents. Heartstopper Aura or Death Pulse cooldown. I think Death Pulse cooldown, I'm going to pause briefly in case there's a fight. I think Death Pulse cooldown probably, it might have a higher win rate because Heartstopper Aura got nerfed. When Heartstopper Aura got changed from pure damage to magical, it now becomes reducible by magic resistance, and it's also not amplifiable by spell amp. So Heartstopper just kind of got worse. But, and back then Heartstopper Aura talent was just better because it just did so much damage that nobody was negating, you know? And thus I think Death Pulse cooldown win rate went up, and it's probably not bad for me to go Death Pulse cooldown right now because my mana pool is in such a good place that Death Pulse is like very spammable, right? I don't have the heal talent, but it's still like good. I could still spam it a lot in team fights, you know? But I went Heartstopper Aura damage because, again, they have two pretty tanky guys that have a lot of life. And upping my Heartstopper Aura would be good. And, again, it also doubles with Ag. So I just thought it was, like, extra good. It's, like, almost 6%. It's 5.8% of their max health and magic damage every second, which is very good. We take Rosh. I'm going to pick up the cheese. The reason I want the cheese is because I can use it if I get nullified. Very important. I'm going to grab these as well. You know, just in case we can make a block of cheese. I'm going to TP here because I don't want these creeps on our towers. Ooh, this is a really bad TP, actually. I'm smoked, so it's okay. But I definitely could have been glimpsed there. That was really bad. I should not have made that teleport. Slark finds them. I'm not afraid to fight into these guys, especially because we have Aegis. We actually should be running at them, in my opinion. Alright, here's the nullifier stuff. Slark saved my life, actually, with Death Shroud. That was really good. Cool call by him. Now the nullifier's gone. I used that early on the Monkey King because I was in some shit. Oh shit, he's just killing our teammates. Alright, so let's look at how well that team fight went. It's kind of bad. Number one, I've got cheese in my backpack instead of in my inventory. That's just a bad idea. What I should have done, I didn't know that they'd finished Nullifier. So I should have been clicking on heroes to figure this out. But I think what I should do is swap cheese in for probably Ags, is my hunch. Keep the raw health from Kaya Sange and the status resistance. Keep the spell amp. I need the Radiance damage and the evasion is good. But it should have been cheese for Ags. And then that way when they go on me with Nullifier, I can survive. I like that I used Shivas and Death Pulse. That was cool. I don't know if I did it on purpose. But it did end up hitting them, I believe. And here's where they nullified me. I'm in melee range. Tried to Euls myself. Nullify, doesn't matter. I'm dying. And then I get covered by both Day9 and by the Slark. Which is cool, because Slark then got to use it as well. And at this point, the Nullifier is gone, so I can definitely fight now. And yeah, this is Monkey King, so I just want to stun him. We end up doing a lot of damage. I'm going to Ghost Shroud now, so he can't even hit me. And now he's like Omega dead. And he just kills them with his clones. But yeah, it was really bad for me not to have cheese in frags. And then we found this guy. Could be Death Pulsing, or Death Seeking this one. I didn't talk about Wind Waker yet, but I was basically so farmed that I was like, fucking, I'm buying Wind Waker. It's not, they kind of, it's better, but it's like kind of not that good. I don't know if it's actually a good item right now. So here's the base components. 10 int, 2.5 mana regen, 20 movement speed. Now it gives 3 mana, which is barely better. It gives you a lot more int, but you're putting a Mystic Staff into it, and it gives you only 10 more movement speed. It used to give you 50 movement speed. I kind of wish it still did. The benefit, though, is that the cooldown is way lower. Yule's cooldown is 23, and Wind Waker is 13. It used to be 18. So they lowered the cooldown a lot so you could use it a bunch. And the reason I got it was because I thought that I could use it to save allies, which you can. You can use it to save allies. But the reality is that I'm more likely to be gone on, so it was kind of maybe a bad idea for me to upgrade it so quickly. I don't know. It's probably fine, but like, my general impression is that I dumped my gold into this and it probably didn't matter. Just because we were winning. And frankly, the only reason I stayed alive in that last fight was because my Slark saved me and because my net worth was really, really high. That's basically it. Because all of my defensive tools were not there. I basically needed like probably 2 armor items, I think, to really survive their combo stuff. Should duel some actually, that was really bad. I did break it there actually. I wonder if I could have Death Seekered him. Use Shivas against pucks, they can't blink. That always hits. I think. I could be wrong actually. Once again, there's a fat wave to push over there, which is really annoying. So next item, eat BOTs, and I could either go a heart for overall raw survivability. I could maybe go a Scotty, that would give you like a mix of armor, but it's probably just better to buy like another armor item. You could buy Lotus, I think would be enough, or I could go Blink, probably Blink. Blink also kind of beats you on Nullifier, or beats Nullifier if you use it correctly, because you can get out of danger. But also makes me more mobile, which is good. There's my eat and eggs. I put cheese in. This also works as my way to go, because now I have the cheese in my inventory finally. I did lose HP by putting my eggs eaten, because you lose the stats, but having the benefit's still good. Yeah, and I ended up buying a heart, because I thought, like, you know what? I just need, like, a shitload of raw HP. If they have anti-healing, it's kind of bad, but yeah, they weren't able to build a Scotty. In fact, this Monkey King just hasn't been farming all game. I feel like every time I click on him, he's got the same frickin' items. I don't think he knows how to hit creeps on the map as well. So, anyways. Hearts on the way. I accidentally forgot the recipe though, that sucked. I should put my camera here instead. This is better. Want to slow them. Monkey's going to split us a little bit. We don't have a tier 2 bottom, so
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
this guy got our range barracks. Bastard. And now I give up the cheese naturally. I didn't actually kill it, it was a bummer. So that's about 1200 HP. I increased my HP by 50%, which is good. It also puts my regen at like a bonkers total.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And then I TP back to my team now that I've sufficiently pushed out top to prevent them from splitting it. Make sure I can't get glimpsed. Now we high ground. So way early on that one. Does he have disrupt rags or something? He does. You know what I probably could have done? Well, I kind of used it early, but maybe I could have Yule's the Void. I just assumed they were going in, so I guess if I don't use myself, then I get silenced also. Death Seeker kind of cool there. He BKBs because my ulti hit. I don't. Maybe that was overkill. I guess I would have Yulesed him afterwards if he didn't. I'm kind of interested in going in, but it's also just better for me to hit creeps at this point. Or hit towers. So then we get megas. I still have my cheese. No heals for you. Now we can truly hit buildings. I don't think I've used my Yules on another person yet. Like an enemy or an ally to save them. Shiva's again. Good old piss god 666 man.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I could definitely dive tower very easily, except for the whole, you know, nullifier thing. But other than that, I can definitely die. Oh shit, we can just stand here. I'm zapping him. Alright, that was fun. And let me take a look at the score screen afterwards because the breakdown is pretty... Oh, I can't see it now. I looked at it before I watched the replay. Oh, no. I don't know if this is a bug or what, but... Anyways, I did a lot of damage. 69k. I tanked a lot too. So did Slark. But Sean did a great job healing us too. There was a lot of moments for sure where we were getting covered. I think he was Pavising us as well. He was, yeah. So he's hitting with Pavis and heals and shields. That definitely helped keep me alive. For sure. I feel like that's not dispellable. Not sure though. Yeah, Stormcrafter pretty cool. Spell Prism would have been like not that needed. The cooldown is not that important on Necro, it's more. And like your ulti is like good for getting kills, but like if you can get to this like raid boss status, it's just a little bit better. You don't have to do it fully defensive. You can go a mix of offensive like I did. The Wind Waker was kind of just a lot of wasted gold, but it's okay. Gave me 10 more movement speed, right? And yeah, Kaya Sange good. Yeah, this is basically my 6th slot. Maybe a BKB. Oh, I could have also upgraded these. It's an extra 10 movement speed or something. It doesn't lower the cooldown anymore. I know. Yeah, 10 more movement speed, but the cooldown's the same. But you do teleport in 2 seconds instead of like 3. Or whatever the timer is, so... could have spent money on that, I guess. Or I could have realistically just bought my Slarko Moon Shard. It's probably what I would have done with my my next bit of gold. Alright, cool. Thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Goodbye.